Joshua Peterson with Peterson Electric. I do a bunch of YouTube videos. I try to do once a week. I have about 400 videos. Today I want to talk about e-volt cars or hybrid cars. It's becoming very, very popular. We've already wired a Tesla S and the Model 3. We've done the Chevy van. We've done the Nissan Leaf, the e-volt on the, I keep forgetting, Chevy Volt, thank you, and now the Honda Clarity. Yes, so there's a lot of pluses and minuses to doing them. Of course, this video is done right now in August of 2018. So in the last 6 years, the technology has totally changed, as well as the battery life, as well as how well it charges, how far it gets. Keep in mind things like, I was up just last week up in Dillon, Colorado. I had never seen it yet, but there was like an 8-station Tesla chargers, freestanding, all weatherproof for outside. And there was like all these Teslas lined up and these guys charging their cars. I should have texted a video and put it on Instagram. It's pretty interesting watching all of them stand around charge their car. Beyond that, I want to tell you that most of them are pretty standard. They're going to be 30 amp 110 or 50 amp 240 volt. If you have a 60 amp welder wire going to your garage, you're good, but understand you do need 4 wires for this, not a 3-wire system or an old SE cable with a braided neutral. You have to have 4 wires on most of your 240 charging systems. So it's going to be a NEMA 6R plug. I kind of forget the names on those guys, but it basically state right here, a NEMA 1450R. And if you have a NEMA, I think it's a 6R, it's going to only have 3 openings to it, which is a ground, a smaller hot, and a neutral. That is a 110 30 amp. This is a 240 volt 50 amp 4-wire plug-in recessed plug. So this gentleman was very smart. He pre-wired all this in his house. In fact, he did an e-volt car over here as well. I'll probably do a second video so I'm not so long, but I want to say this, that a lot of our infrastructures in the older parts of Loveland and Fort Collins, Colorado, a lot of the homes have 100, 125 amps to the house max. It is not enough typically to try to go charging 2 cars at once, especially if you have electric range, electric cooktop, wall ovens, electric baseboard heating, if you have hot tubs outside, if they're running at the same time. Maybe you have a 5 kW space heater in your garage that's heating. Maybe you're welding or you're doing kiln potting. You're hooking up your RVs. Maybe you're doing a geocryptocurrency and you're mining with mainframe, or you're growing weed in Colorado. The bottom line is that you have to know if your house can handle that system. It is kind of typically like a car. Let's say you've got 4.5 liters for an oil, but you've been running on 2.5 liters. Of course your car is going to run for a while until you burn out the rings in your car. The same thing with your electrical system. It takes time, but over time you can burn out your lugs or your main breaker, especially if it's tripping. So you should give us a call to try to talk to you about a full load calc on your house. Of course, if you look it up in Appendix D in the NEC 2017 code book, you'll find out what that is. Also, this video is done August 2018. So again, make sure before you go spend $50,000 on a car or $120,000 on a car, and I have to give you the bad news that you need a $6,000 service upgrade. Do not listen to those your car salesmen who tell somebody who just recently told me $1,500 on a service upgrade. I was going to call him and ask him to do it, and I would watch him do the work, because your typical service change on an older house, a side-by-side with a meter outside, starts at $3,500. We do all that with a permit. It is not that cheap, and it can go up to way more than that on service changes as well if you have an old SE cable inside, or your system is 1930 and you got the old screw and fuses from 1910. It is not nearly the same price on any of that. Before you buy, do your homework. Anyways, I'll do a second video, introduce you to this customer who just did a Honda Clarity, and I was really impressed with the car. It sounds like it's probably going to be one of the better ones out there to beat all of them for the distance of driving, as well as how fast it charges. Thanks guys, I'll see you in just a minute.